Hello, I'm supposed to be doing return centers. I start talking. What was I talking about? I was talking about defamation of character. I was like, the laws, because I know the law. The law is like we have freedom of speech. We all have freedom of speech. Like you could say whatever you want to say. It's free to say what you want to say. I worked in the courthouse, 15 years in the courthouse. So I can talk about what's going on in the courthouse because I was there. So I can say whatever I'm saying that they're not doing. Yeah, I can say it. Why can I say that? Because I was there and I'm telling you what they're not doing. I'm telling you what the problem is. I'm telling you about the money. I'm telling you about the court case files. They're hiding the file. I'm telling you about surrogate's court and the property. My cousin, he had a lawsuit. It was a $2.5 million lawsuit. He won that lawsuit for lead poisoning, and the file is nowhere to be found. Somebody took the 2.5 million. Who cashed out that money? Why can't I see the file? Why I can't get? I wanted to get the file to him, but they deleted the file and they took the money. $2.5 million lawsuit. I was like, okay. So like, what the fuck happened? Like, I still don't know what happened because the file has been deleted. This was for my cousin. So that's when I knew that they were hiding files. They were deleting files. They were stealing the money. They were stealing the money, but I can't prove that. Who deleted the file? Every person has a username and password. You need that username and password to do anything. Whatever you do, you enter something, your name is there. P. Garcia. I use my name, P. Garcia. That's what's going to pop up. P. Garcia entered that. If I delete anything, P. Garcia deleted that. Like, it's going to show what the hell, who did what, and the time and the date it was deleted. It's going to show. Everything shows. Everything is documented. That's how I know the files were missing, the court case files. And if it was won, the case was won because it was publicized. It was in the newspapers and everything that the kid won $2.5 million lawsuit for lead poisoning. And my cousin was a child at the time, so the money wasn't released because he had to be 18. His mom died, and someone adopted him. You know, but who got the money? Did the adopted mom get the money? Like, who got the money? It's $2.5 million. Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the file? Where's the file? Because it hasn't been 30 years. It hasn't been a long time. Like, where's the file? Nobody know. Yeah. It's something funny going on there. Even with the inheritances. Where are the inheritances? Who has access to vital records? Who's printing out, the death certificates? Because you need the death certificates to file for the unclaimed property. You can't claim property on a deceased person without the death certificate. That's just the rule. But it's like, who's claiming the property? Where's the property going? Like, who? They're taking the unclaimed properties, the homes, they're falsifying the documents, they're forging the documents, they're doing all kinds of fraud. And there's nothing but straight up criminals in the courthouse. Why do I say that? Because I was there, because I'm there, and I know that there's criminals in the courthouse and they do shit. They do shit, and then they act like you too stupid to know what the fuck they're doing, or you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you tripping, or oh, that's not what you saw. But I know what the fuck I saw. I know what you said, and now you saying something else. Like you trying to flip it, and you trying to switch my words, and I know what the hell is going on. But then you can't prove it because they delete the files. They delete it and act like it doesn't exist. But then when you go into the computer and you see who entered it and who deleted it, that's how you're going to find out who did it and who got that money. That's how you're going to know. You're not going to know if you sit there and you're just looking through it. You gotta look through it. You gotta look through everything. But then it's only people with access can see that. A regular person, you're not gonna see it. It's gonna show not found, not found. Like there's nothing there. That's how it's gonna show for regular people. But if you in the system and you have access, yeah, you're gonna see who deleted it. You're gonna see who entered it. You're gonna see what happened, right? You're gonna see it. And I talk about it because I know, you know, I'm not lying there. If I'm lying, then check and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I want you to prove me wrong. We all have freedom of speech. I don't work there. When I worked there, I signed a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, that's saying that you can't say anything that's happening in the courthouse. So I wasn't allowed to talk about the shit that's going on in the courthouse. But I would file complaints all the time. All the time I'm filing complaints, but nobody ever did anything. Nobody ever checked. Nobody cared. Nobody did anything because they're all a part of it. The Office of Court Administration, OCA, the Inspector General's office, the IG's office. I would go to everyone and nobody would do anything. They would just take the document and do nothing with it. That's why the case file is 405 pages because it's all of the complaints as of when I was an employee. And then it's all the other stuff that happened, the sabotage of my documents, my personal and confidential information. Everything else that's popping up, like I'm talking about the insurances, not insurances, what's that shit? Property and the case files. The case files are, they're deleting it and they're taking the money. I'm like, where's the money? Where's the file? Like, I want the file. I need the file. Where is the file? Nobody knows. Like, it was never entered. The file is like it was never entered. Why is it like that? It's because they're hiding something. They stole the money. They did something. $2.5 million. Like, who the fuck got that money? So they just split it with each other. $2.5 million. Like, it's a real case. It's crazy. It's crazy. But there's no proof. I can't prove it. Freedom of speech, but I could talk about it because the NDA goes out the window because I don't work there. So I could talk about the courthouse, because I am not a court employee. And whatever. I think when we're not allowed, you can talk. You can talk about things, and you can make issues. You can talk about it. It's freedom of speech. You have the freedom to talk, freedom of speech, but you can't talk about people. You can't talk about people and defame their character. You can't talk about people and just start talking bad because you feel and and nah, they could sue you. They could sue you for defamation of character, and that is a law. That is a law. That who are you? Like, where did you come from? How do you know me? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you saying this about me? So now I gotta prove my identity because you want to talk about me like I'm a dog. And those people, you sue them. Like, I talk about Teresa Torres. I talk about her because I know her. I know her. I work with her. She know me too. She knows me, and I know her character. I know her way of being. I know her personality. I know how she is. And she was always a hoe. She was always a hoe. And I can say she's a hoe because I know she a hoe. Like, we worked in the office. All she talked about was sex. All she was just a disgusting, nasty kind of woman. I could say that because I know her. You want to, what is it? I'm defaming. How am I defaming you? And it's the truth. It's the truth. I know you. You know me personally. You know me. I know you. I work with you 15 fucking years. I was stuck with this woman, and it's like I know her, and she sits there and she does the most, and she's always talking and she's always gossiping and da, 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 da. That's witchcraft. That is straight up witchcraft. And that's all she does. That's all she believes in is in black magic. Everything is magic. That's what she would say to me. Everything is black magic. Everything. Whatever's going on is black magic. She would say that to me. I'm like, what? I didn't even know about magic until I got to the courthouse because everybody was doing fucking magic. Everybody was doing magic. My insides were like, they were moving. Why are my insides like that? Like, I'm healthy. I drink water. I work out. Like, what the fuck? Like, why am I feeling like that? Going to specialists, nothing is wrong. You're just fat. You're obese. I'm like, but nothing's wrong with me. Are you sure? Are you sure? Nothing is wrong. You have a perfect bill of health. You should be happy that you are healthy and nothing is wrong with you. And I'm like, so why my stomach going like that? And that's how I knew it was black magic. And once I left the courthouse, all of that, it went away. It went away. And I'm like, wow, like you had to get away. I had to get away from the magic, but I can't prove it. I can't prove the black magic, but I know it's being done. And I know she does it. And she does it to everyone that works there. And it's just like, but you can't prove it. You can't prove magic. So it is what it is, you know. The only way you're gonna know anyone is doing magic is when it backfires, it goes back to them, you know, it goes back to them and they end up having all kind of problems within their life. That's how you know who did the work. I do return to senders. I do them every day. The return to senders returns energy back to wherever it's coming from. The energy is going to go back. So, and then what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen to me because I cleanse with salt. I cleanse with salt. I use the eggshells. I use the eggshells, you know, and the eggshells put me in a protective bubble. And the splash, the splash. The splash, I use the splash. I use the splash all the time. The splash is a protective splash. It's dark and everything, but it doesn't mess up your your skin. Like it's not gonna like like put dark marks on you or whatever. It's not gonna do that. It's a liquid. It is a spiritual splash. It has a lot of ingredients in here to protect you and ward away evil and negative energy. So the magic is not gonna work. That's what the splash is for. It's so that the magic doesn't work. Whatever they're doing is not going to work. You know, the splash is to help with spiritual awareness, is to enlighten you, is to help you bring clarity to things. You know, people do magic and they want to mess with your mind. The splash will help clear your mind, open your mind, and you're gonna see things for what it is, not for what they're playing and they want you to think it is. You know, because everything is magic. Thing is, I can't prove it. You know, defamation of character is when you're talking about a person and you're lying about a person. So this woman probably sat there and lied about me and said so many bad things about me. So many people could have been lying about me. Yeah, I can sue them. I can sue them for defamation of character. I can sue them for lying because lying is, you're not supposed to lie. You're not supposed to lie in a court of law. It's perjury. It's like a sin. Like you're not supposed to lie, cheat, steal. You're not supposed to do this shit. People do it. But that's why I have the truth spelled up. You can't lie to me. And I don't lie. Because when you lie, lies puts you in a trap. You trap yourself in a lie. So it's like the only way for you to get out of that trap is you have to speak the truth. You gotta talk the truth. That's why I don't lie. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If it hurts your feelings, if it makes you mad, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you because I'm not gonna be trapped. I'm not gonna be trapped. I'm not gonna be stuck. I'm not gonna be fucked up because I want to sit there and lie. Like, nah, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I'm gonna free myself from this shit. And it's like, oh well, you mad, you upset, whatever, you know. You'll get over it and you'll be all right. But what was I talking about? I'm just talking. Oh my God. Defamation of character. You can't talk about people and you don't know them. You can't talk about people and you don't, they can sue you. They can sue you. They can take you to court and they can sue you and they could win. They can win that lawsuit because you sat there and lied on their character. So it's like, people sit there and they lie. They'll lie on me and they'll try to change my character and make it seem like I'm this horrible person. Yeah, I could sue you for that, you know? And it's the same thing with, you know, I don't know. People want to talk like they know people. It's like you don't know certain people and you can't talk about them like you know them because they can sue you. They can sue you for defamation of character. It's like, how the fuck are you going to talk about somebody and say all this stuff about them and then publicize it and then want it to reach the masses, and you think that nothing is going to happen to you, and you've did it more than one time. You did it several different times to different kinds of people. They can sue you for defamation of character. It's like, mind your fucking business. Mind your business. Mind your business. It's like, I could talk about the courthouse because I'm there in the courthouse. I could talk about Teresa Torres because I know Teresa Torres. I know her, and I want her. I want her to sue me. I want her to sue me. And everyone that has spoken against me and went against me and lied on me, I'm gonna sue them too. I am gonna sue them. I'm gonna do the fucking most because they want to sit here and do the most. You want to do the most and lie? Yeah. When it's my turn, when it's my turn, I'm gonna do the most too, and I'm gonna do you in the worst kind of way. What is it? To the fullest extent that the law will let me. I'm gonna all charges, pressing all kinds of charges, because there's no fucking way. There's no way. Like they could sit there and try to ruin your life on purpose. Like why would you do that? Why would you do that to anyone? And then it's like it's so many court issues, it's so many court issues, and then it's like, what was I saying? And then they all want to lie. They all want to lie on they all want to lie in the court. Lying under oath is also a crime. Also a crime. These are laws. Nobody talks about these laws. You have freedom of speech and defamation of character. Like you can't lie on people and make it seem like they're a certain kind of way. That means you're trying to defame them and make it seem like they're another kind of way, another kind of person. Like they're not another kind of person. You just jealous. You just jealous and you mad and you hating. That's why you talking about them like that, because you fucking jealous. And it's just like, and it's a crime. It is illegal. And you can go to jail. You can pay fines. All kinds of things can happen for defamation of character. You can't talk about people. It is a crime to talk about people and defame their character. It's a crime. There is freedom of speech. Yes, we all have freedom of speech, but you cannot talk about people and defame a person's character. You can't do that. You can't make it seem like no. And then if they're known person, and you're trying to make them look bad, yeah, they can sue you. They can sue you and they will win because you have no right. You have no proof. You just talking out your ass, and it's wrong. It's illegal to do, and you can't do it. It's There's levels to the shit. It's like you can't do whatever you want to do. It's like you could do what you want to do, but then it's like it's certain things you just cannot do. You cannot do it. Yeah, there's freedom of speech. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. Yeah, but to a certain extent. You can say certain things. You can't say certain things. You can't talk about people. You can't talk about people and make them look bad in the eyes of others, and then everything that you're saying is a lie. Like, yeah, you could go to jail, you could pay fines, they could stop you, they could block you. It's called a cease and desist order to make you stop talking. They want you to stop talking. You're like, yeah, I keep talking about the courthouse. Yeah, look at the files. Look at the files. Look at the cases. Where are the cases? Where is everything? You know? It's like, what's going on? So it's like, I want someone to do something. I want somebody to do something so that I can respond with my fucking case. What about my case? How are you going to file anything against me and you want to ignore the fucking case that has been filed since March 1st of last year, 2024. So you want to bypass the case and you want to file shit against me. It's like, get your shit together, because you can't. No, because I'm going to bring up the case. I'm going to bring up the case, and you're going to settle this case, because I can talk about what I'm talking about, because you haven't responded to the case. You were supposed to respond to the case within 45 days, 35 days, and failure to respond is an automatic win by default, because of the plaintiff's failure to respond in a timely manner. It's the law. Laws. There's laws about everything. It's a way around everything. There's always a way to get around some shit. Like when somebody's trying to do something to you, yeah. Know the law so you can defend yourself, because you can do certain things. Like, you can talk. It's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. Yes. But there is a limit. There's certain things you can't talk about. There's certain things you can't say anything about, because it's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you, you know? I'm just saying, because I worked in the courts, so I know the law. I know the laws, because there's many different kind of laws, and it's freedom of speech. You can talk. Yes, you can talk, and it's okay to talk, you know? But then there's also defamation of character. They can sue you. So you better be sure you know what the fuck you talking about. You know what you're talking about. Like, I know what I'm talking about when I talk about the court case. When I talk about what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about, you know? But, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, because it's like we can do certain things, and certain things we can't do it. We can't do it, because you will get in trouble. You will get in trouble for doing it. So it's like you can't do whatever you want. Like, you could do whatever you want, but then you can't do everything you want. Like, it's a limit. It's certain things you can't do. And you just gotta know the law so you don't get yourself in trouble. That's all it is. Because you don't want to get in trouble. Like, I want somebody to hear the case. Oh no. But it's like, how you want someone to listen. I want someone to listen to the case. So I'm calling out Teresa Torres, because I want her to do something. I want her to do something so that I can take it back to the case. What about this case? You know? That's how I see it. But then they can sue defamation of character, because I'm talking about this hoe. I'm talking about her. And oh, you're not supposed to talk about people. But I'm like, but I know this hoe. Like, I know her. Like, I personally know her. We work. So, but you can't say certain things. And it's just like, so I gotta just sit here and let them ignore my case and act like nothing happened. Like, nothing happened. Like, they didn't do nothing to me. I gotta act like everything is okay. No, you're gonna hear my case and you're gonna respond to the case. I don't know. We all want things, but it's like how to bring things to light, how to get justice. How can I get justice? It's like, do I have to talk about people to get justice? And then you talk about people, and then they'll sue you because you're talking about them, and it's just like I don't know, I don't know what to do. And it's just like, and then nobody does their job. Nobody does their job. It's like it's sitting on somebody's desk, and they just looking at it like, yeah, nobody does their job. Nobody's gonna do anything, and I'm just like, oh my god, what I gotta do? Just just talking, trying to make sense of it, trying to make sense of freedom of speech. We all have freedom of speech. Then you have defamation of character. You have those. You can't talk about people because they can sue you. They can sue you. And I'm like, but I want my case to be heard. So I'm talking about people. And then it's like, but they can sue you because you're talking about them. And I'm like, well, I have everything is in the court case file. Everything is in this file. And you can look at the file. You can look, you can read, you can see the pictures. Because there's pictures. I don't know. Leave it alone. Bye.